Hi everyone, the Fake Geek Girl is back again, and I am here with my review of The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 14, Twice as Far. Overall, 6 out of 10. I didn't love it. I think the pacing was really weird, which is something that The Walking Dead has been doing a lot lately, is just not the greatest pacing in the world, where we have really slow up until the last 10 minutes, and it seems rushed at the end. Rather than feeling like an explosion of tension, this episode was more, oh no, we only have 20 minutes left. We have to get them to this certain point, and we only have 10 minutes left. We have to kill somebody quick, quick, quick. It was directed by Alric Riley. Too many R's, and my speech impediment is just not allowing this to happen. I haven't seen anything he directed except for one episode of Criminal Minds. Um, and that's it. He's done work on Once Upon a Time, but I don't watch Once Upon a Time, so I'm assuming he's a good director. And this is the first Walking Dead episode that he directed, so I mean, overall, it wasn't horribly directed. My problem usually isn't in the directing, it's in pacing, which is more of a writer's problem. General thoughts? We have two entries to the Department of Bad Choices. The first one is agreeing with Denise to have her come along with the pharmacy apothecary run, because nothing says bad choice like bring your only doctor to a zombie infested town. Why not? I mean, that's a great idea, right? The other entry to the Department of Bad Choices is screaming and yelling at everybody outside of Alexandria, which, even if you're not worried about a human threat, you should be worried about a walker threat, and we all know that noise brings walkers. Department of Bad Choices. And this is a general thought about Rosita, and I understand that Rosita's hurting. I understand that she's upset with her breakup over with Abe and just everything. But there's a point when you're just flat out mean to somebody, that and calling them a child, and I'm not gonna babysit her alone. Like, it was just a general misplaced bitchiness on Denise that I didn't like that at all. Like, I understand, again, I understand that Rosita is hurting. And she's a very strong character. She's a strong woman. She's a very in your face, I'm not gonna let anybody bother me. That flash, by the way, going up the stairs, was my cat. In case you were wondering what that movement was over there. Um, but yeah, she strikes me as somebody who's that really strong woman who has never not been in a relationship. And I think my cat just opened the door upstairs. And I say that because she went from Abraham to Spencer really quickly, which isn't a bad thing. But I've met women like this before, where they can't not be in a relationship, and they're strong and they're independent, but they need validation from other people. And I think that's one of the reasons why Rosita's having this this attitude because she doesn't really like Spencer. But I don't really think she was in love with Abraham. I think she was just with him for so long and they'd been through so much. But all in all, I still really do love Rosita. She is still one of my favorite characters. Um, I think if I had to do like a top 5, it would be Glenn, Maggie, Tara, Rosita, Carol, in order. If I had to do it in order. One thing that was really smart of Denise was remembering the apothecary, because not many people remember that apothecary is another word for pharmacy. It's usually more herbal stuff, but some modern apothecaries do carry herbal and pharmaceutical, which is brilliant to remember. Even if it just carried herbals, if there's seeds, there's a lot of things that you can use as far as herbal remedies that actually really do help. And seeds, it's always good to have a bunch of different kinds of seeds. And you never know, you might find knives at a gift shop, you might find just about anything, really. You'd be surprised what you can find. I did also like the snapshots of Alexandria's daily life, because you get that feeling that they have a false sense of security, and it's all gonna come crashing down, all of it. It's showing how fragile Alexandria really is, because one little thing, one little hiccup is going to send the entire clock out of whack. And I guess my biggest question is, where's everyone during Denise's burial? Why wouldn't you go to the burial of the doctor that saved your son? Or, to the person who patches everybody up and keeps everybody safe. Like, that was really weird. I think that was in the preview for our next episode. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was just Daryl and Carol burying her. I thought that was just really weird and really, really out of character for everyone else not to be there to say goodbye. Like, we know why Heath and Tara weren't there, but the episode ended with Carol leaving a note and saying, "Don't come and get me," or "Come and find me." And I wonder what that's setting up. In the comic, we lose Carol at the prison. We lose her to suicide by Walker. And I wonder if it's setting up for that. If she has so much guilt and so much she's completely lost her faith, not only in any kind of God, but in herself and in the people she's with. So I wonder if that's setting up a possible suicide by Walker, or if it's going to set up other things. I heard a fan theory of Carol becoming Alpha from the comics, the lead of the Whisperers, which would be weird. I think that would be more weird than likely. I think I just don't see it. I don't see Carol losing it that much that she's walking around with Walker faces on her. But we already kind of have the setup for the Whisperers, because we hear in Clear Morgan talking about people walking around with other people's faces. Now, that could just be his delusion after losing his son, or it could be he encountered the Whisperers without knowing who the Whisperers were. Eugene and Abraham being on again, off again BFFs. I kind of really love that. I don't ever think they could overdo it because I think there's so much like their comic book counterparts and so much like cartoon characters at some points. It's just the exchanges they have, and Eugene telling Abraham, "You've outlived your usefulness to me," and the way Abraham took it, and on again, off again, BFFs forever. Just, I love them together. They're so funny, and they play off each other so well. And Michael Cudlitz and Josh McDermott are amazing actors, and they're so funny, and they have such perfect comic timing that Eugene and Abraham are what we need for the little bit of comic relief we get. And Eugene's attempt to kill I put Leadhead Walker, was very nice. It showed that common, tactics don't always work, and sometimes what you think, go for the head, you need to be a little more creative. And the design on that walker was amazing. It was so freaky looking, and I loved it. I'm like, yeah, great design. Way to go, Greg Nicotero. And that's me fangirling mildly over Greg Nicotero and Walker design and costume effects, makeup effects in general. And the last thing I want to say is about Dwight and Daryl and how everyone's saying it's like this Harry Potter, Lord Voldemort shit of neither one can live or whatever. Like, there has to be one or the other. We can't have Dwight and Daryl because they're too similar, and who's gonna have the crossbow and all of this. And all I can really say is AMC does not have the balls to kill their cash cow. They do not have the balls to do it. Of all the characters, I think Daryl is the safest. I think that he is going to die when Norman Reedus no longer wants to do the show. When Norman Reedus is just like, nah, man, nah, I'm done. Because he is. If you look anywhere where they sell Walking Dead merchandise, count the amount of Daryl stuff. The Funko pop vinyl the little mystery boxes. There's like 10 different Daryl figures and like 2 of Glenn, which is really weird. There's like 1 Maggie. There's maybe 4 or 5 Ricks, but there's more Daryl than anything else. And he's a cash cow. There are earrings and necklaces and bracelets and t-shirts and backpacks because Daryl's the cash cow. And I feel really bad being so negative, I guess, about this, but they're not gonna kill off their most popular character. Even if it would serve the story perfectly, if it would be the perfect like catalyst to season 7 to have Daryl die, or if it would be a perfect catalyst at the season 7 mid-season premiere for Daryl to die in some horrible way. They're not going to do it. They will write around any kind of death that he could ever possibly have. They won't do it because they don't have the balls for it. He makes too much money. That being said, I don't necessarily want Daryl to die. He is a fun character. I think that he still has a lot of potential if they drastically change his character. Again, I touched on this in another video. He keeps doing these ridiculous things, and my cat's attacking something at the window. Um, he keeps doing these ridiculous things without any consequences, and he's getting people killed. And I think he's starting to realize that he needs to be more careful about what he does. But wow, this turned into a Daryl rant again. So I guess AMC is doing something right if they're making this, they're eliciting this kind of emotion from people. So I guess I'll cut it there. We're about 15 and a half minutes in. So like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let me know if you have any questions that you want me to answer. I'm not an expert about Walking Dead, but I have fun. Like if you like Darkwing Duck, at least give me that. The Darkwing Duck. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I've had way too much coffee and not enough sleep, and I will see you later. I am gonna do a video, kind of talking about whether or not Glenn is gonna get Lucille this, in 2 episodes. So, I hope you tune in for that, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!